What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chaotic Minds. As always, it's Winged,
And the midget.
who is not feeling too well.
Yay.
And for two reasons. One, he drank some spoilt milk.
Yeah, sour milk is definitely not a good appetite increaser. It makes you evacuate from
And
both ends.
And the second reason, and you and I are both in the same boat here.
Exhaustion.
So, the exhaustion, yes. However, we had a show already recorded. However, when I went to go get it ready for upload, it ended up getting corrupted.
Electronics, man.
So this show has this is like a quick backup show.
Yeah.
Because the original one got fucked.
Yeah.
And we had some good topics that we were going to talk about. Maybe we'll try to. I'll see what I can do to recover it.
Maybe revisit it at some point.
That way I don't give any sort of spoilers or anything.
Yeah.
But we so this one is a little bit shorter.
Maybe.
The reason why it's going up today is because of the previous issues. So because we had to pull something random to be able to get a show up and running, we're going to do Reddit stories. I know it's a week early. Oh, my God. But it's the quickest thing that we could come up with.
Right.
Also, the reason why we didn't have a show the first week of April is that was our anniversary.
Yep.
And we spent it basking in each other. And no, I don't mean that in any weird way. We literally just were being in each other's presence.
We got taxes done.
Yeah.
we did adult things.
And we went to lunch or brunch.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hoo-ha.
So, that being said, I have one or two.
We can start with mine.
Okay, let's start with yours then, and then we'll see where we're at.
We'll kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
So this one says, am I the asshole for telling my neighbors that we will take action if their nephew with Down syndrome continues to trespass?
Okay. I'm withholding judgment.
Backstory. There's a tree canopy on our street starting at our house. It is allowed so long as the trees are maintained. My neighbor has no trees but parks in front of our house under the trees. This doesn't bother me. We had a storm and a branch from our tree fell on their car. They asked for our car insurance. I tried to explain that it was covered under the house insurance and gave them that info. I also called my insurance and sent them pictures to start the process. The next day, they came over and asked if I had heard anything from my insurance and asked again about my car insurance. I asked for their phone and email to give to the insurance agent. Gave that info to the agent. He called and left messages, but he called me to verify the info because they never returned the calls. The neighbors asked a couple more times about my insurance over the week. I just told them they have to call them. They seem to be getting angrier, but they never talked to the insurance agent, and I don't know what they wanted from me. We scheduled tree removal and asked that they remove their car beforehand. During that conversation, the man with Down syndrome, Alec, yelled from behind the door that it was his car. It was explained that Alec inherited it and he liked to take specific rides in it and that he was very upset that it is damaged. I said I hope that gets sorted out soon for him and got glares. After the car was moved, Alec started staring in our windows and throwing items in our yard. Initially, I took the items to their porch, but he threw things right back over. Shoes, garden tools, etc. I put curtains in front so my dog would stop going crazy and kept the items in a tote until they came to get the items. He started throwing things at the house and tried to break the gate and climb the fence. Most of this is on camera. When they picked up the items, they asked that we just unlock the gate for Alec and then he can get the things himself and will eventually lose interest in throwing things. It's good for him to pick up after himself. I refused. I have a dog with a dog door and I don't want Alec to try and crawl through. I don't want my dog to get out and I don't want her to possibly injure someone who comes on our property. I've been hospitalized a lot this year and she's being weird and protective. I also sent an email and text that Alec is not allowed on our property and I will take action if he damages anything. They didn't respond by email, but have knocked and yelled and said we owe them.
So this kid, and I say kid, sounds late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Physically, that age. Developmentally, because of the mental status, probably like somewhere in his like somewhere in the range of like 10, from what I'm guessing. That is still old enough to know what is right and what is wrong, and to know whether or not you should do something or you shouldn't. The fact that these people have not addressed that and or put a stop to it is ridiculous. Add into the fact that the whole reason why this whole conversation started was because a tree branch fell on a vehicle. And instead of talking with the home insurance, they're demanding the vehicle insurance, which may be the same company, but still that's two separate branches of the company.
Yeah.
They're just getting more and more angry and upset that they haven't heard anything. Maybe try answering an email or a phone call every once in a while. Solve that problem right up.
So there's a couple of things that one of the comments that was made was, not the asshole, time to involve law enforcement and stop negotiating with them. They don't respect you and seem incapable of handling a simple insurance issue themselves. And he replies, the only reason I haven't is I want to give them a chance to try and stop the behavior. I'm not sure how law enforcement would respond, and I don't want Alec traumatized. If not for my dog being sort of an asshole herself lately, I think I could tolerate Alec's behavior a bit longer. She loses her mind when he puts his face to the windows trying to see through. And another person comments, not the asshole, while I value their attempt at employing natural consequences for Alec's throwing, he has to pick the items back up. They're not looking at the whole picture. They've already proven quick to seek compensation, but deficient in follow-through. Kudos for avoiding similar situations. And he goes, I do think it's a good idea for him to pick the things up if they would supervise and make sure he didn't just use it as an opportunity to try and damage things. My dog makes that impossible, and I can't trust him to make sure he just picks things up and leaves. So basically, everybody is saying not the asshole, and it's just like.
So the dog is being being weirdly protective.
Yeah.
Their words, because the person was sick.
Yeah.
And wasn't feeling good. So dogs have that natural protective sense. Like you've seen the video, the clips of the guy who passes out in the middle of the street. People come over to try to help him. EMS and police try to help him, and this dog is
laying on top of it,
laying on
barking,
top, growling, barking, snapping, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're protecting their owner. That's what this dog is doing.
So there is one final update to it. It says, it probably isn't our problem and they should have gone through their insurance. I called my insurance because I didn't know if we were responsible or not because the tree is on their property.
Mm-hmm.
I followed up to try and speed up the process, and because they kept asking me every time I went out. They've never been a problem until now. It is a bit frustrating that this is happening. I was trying to just get along since I am stuck living here. Now I'm avoiding leaving the house.
So
basically, he's feeling like a prisoner in his own home because they can't deal with their nephew's antics.
Once again, mentally, the kid is old enough to know what is right and what is wrong. They're not enforcing it. Well, he's special needs. That doesn't fucking make it any that doesn't make a difference.
A difference, yeah. But I mean, and people are continuing. This one says, not the asshole. You've been patient and empathetic up to this point, and you need to prevent something more serious happening that could hurt this man. And then the guy responds, I for sure don't want him injured. Even if the dog is kept in, he could hurt himself trying to climb the fence or trying to break something. I have spent the last few afternoons looking at houses and fantasizing about moving. I never wanted issues with neighbors. So it's just like...
Which is understandable. Nobody wants to have an issue with their neighbor.
Yeah.
But these people are going out of their way to have an issue.
Yeah.
and they're not doing anything to fix it.
Yeah. And
My personal opinion, get law enforcement involved.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is show up.
Law enforcement has special training to deal with these situations.
And all they really have to do is show up and be like, hey, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to be over here.
Yeah.
Don't make us come out here again. $10, that kid will be like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And stop.
And the thing is the thing I want to know is because of the sensitivity of the gentleman, of Alec, with his Down syndrome, and the fact that he is very particular about the car that he inherited and all that, I'm wondering if the aunt and uncle have some play in, they're trying to get money from the insurance, and they're repeatedly bugging this guy for his car insurance, knowing that he's already been told that it's the homeowner's insurance he has to go through. I'm wondering if they're egging this kid on.
Possibly.
Because because people with Down syndrome, like you said, they might not have the mental capacity for some things, but they do know right from wrong most of the time. And after the neighbor asked them to handle the situation, and Alec had settled down for a bit and then all of a sudden ramped up again, that just kind of
I've known
rubs me the wrong way.
I've knew a couple of kids with Down syndrome when I was in high school, and they get hyper focused on something, and they'll be hyper focused on that for a bit, and then you talk with them or you get them pointed in another direction, and they will go in that other direction and completely and totally forget about the thing that they were hyper focused on.
And that's my point, because he was hyper focused on that vehicle for so long and likes to take special rides and whatnot. And then all of a sudden he starts throwing things and putting his face on the window after they had to move it. That doesn't sound like he's focused on the car anymore, so what distracted him?
Yep. My personal thing, not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Dude, get the cops involved if you have to.
Get somebody involved.
All right.
Anyway, your turn.
My turn. Am I the asshole for agreeing to split the bill on a double date, which ended in my best friend being dumped?
Dude. I'm reserving judgment on this one.
Hi, 22 female. Am really unsure here. My best friend and roommate, 22 female, Amy, has been seeing this guy for 2 months. She really likes him, and it seemed like it was going super well. Last night, she asked if I go along with a blind double date, i.e. her and the guy she's dating, and me and one of his friends who is single and looking. I wasn't keen at first, but she insisted, so I agreed. We got to the restaurant, just a nice place in our area, and things seemed to be going fine. The friend that she was setting me up with, in quotes, was cool, but I really am not looking right now and didn't feel any kind of spark. We get to the end of the dinner and the bill comes. Amy chimes in and says, "Don't worry, our men have got this," to which I said back, "No, I don't mind." We had 2 cocktails each, all 4 of us, and it wasn't a crazy expensive place, but not cheap. A bit of back and forth happened. Amy kept insisting it is always the gentlemen who pay, so I'd said something like, "You do you, I'm happy to split." The guys were saying they would cover, but both seemed uncomfortable. They paid, then we all left. Amy and her boyfriend went back to his place. I said goodnight to his friend and went home alone. Later, Amy texted me saying her man is now contemplating the relationship because he doesn't want someone who always insists that the men pay. She told me I ruined it by offering to split and should have sided with her and not made things worse. She's now saying he needs time and may not want to continue the relationship with her. Am I the asshole for this? No.
No, because in my personal opinion, I don't think that the men should always pay.
So here's the biggest issue that I have with this, right? You have, and you and I have talked at length about this, not on here, but just in general.
In general, yeah.
There is this mindset, and it goes back many decades, that the men are the providers. I mean, you can go back like hundreds of years.
Yeah.
The men provide, and the women take care of the stuff at home.
Yep.
That includes whenever you go out to eat, the men pay for that, and that was to be expected. I mean, that's how I was raised. Like, if you go out with someone, if you're asking them out on a date, you pay for them.
Yep.
So don't ask somebody out on a date if you can't pay for them.
Yep.
And if they, and when I say they, my parents were very specific. They meant females. Ask you out on a date, which never is supposed to happen in the first place, according to most of society.
Some people.
Then you still pay because you're a man. Now
I don't agree with that.
Now here's the thing. If I'm going to ask somebody out on a date, sure, I'm going to make sure that I have enough to cover, unless it is specified at the beginning.
Hey, you want to go Dutch?
Yes.
Exactly.
Now, there are some women who still hang on to that mindset, as shown here, where the man pays for everything. And there are some women, as shown here, that are against that mindset. However, the biggest problem that I have is if you're going to sit there and try to play the, well, this is how things are always done card, then fine. Stay home. Do housework. Let your man work. Don't bug him for stuff. If you want to act like a traditional 50s housewife, act like a traditional 50s housewife. Don't expect to do anything special unless he says it's okay. Don't demand things from him. You are that meek, quiet woman in the corner. And there are some women who are like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
It's your choice.
Exactly. But then don't sit there. If you're going to play that card.
You can't have it both ways.
If you're going to play that card, you can't then go ahead and be like, well, I don't need no man. I provide for myself. Yada, yada, yada.
I'm an independent woman.
It don't work like that.
No.
If you're independent, great. Be independent. Offer to pay for half.
Yep.
Like the OP.
Yep.
She's like, no, I'm going to take care of me.
Because on top of that, it's like the mindset that I have is if I had somebody ask me out on a date and.
I mean, shit, the first couple of days that we went on, when we first started, you sat there and when it came down to like time for the bill, you reached into your purse, wallet, whatever, went to pull out your card, and what did I do?
No, I've got this.
I got this.
And that's the thing.
And then you looked at me, it's like, excuse you?
And that's the thing, is like, I don't, and the way I look at it is I don't want to feel like I owe somebody.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like.
There are a lot of guys
exactly
who do that. Now, there are an equal amount of females who do the same thing.
Yes. More so females than males.
But there's a lot of guys who'll sit there and it's like,
Yeah.
well, I bought you this expensive dinner you can put out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's my choice.
That's not how this works.
That's not how any of this works.
Because then I would be a prostitute. Because basically you would be paying for it.
You know. But you can't. I don't think she's the asshole. It's obvious that this guy was thinking about this in the from the get.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to be like, the men pay for everything.
Yeah.
And we just get.
Yeah.
You know, we get the benefits
He
of
was
it.
thinking. Sorry. He was thinking about splitting up with her before this day began.
Yes.
And and that's the thing, is like, and then she is just trying to use this as and it almost sounds to me, and this is kind of on the outskirts of this, is she offered up the blind double date idea because she probably had a feeling that he was going to split up with her. And if he was one-on-one, he probably would have split up with her.
Yeah.
If it was a double date, he won't split up with me because
Because of the
he doesn't want to
embarrassment.
embarrass his friend or
Himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what it feels like here.
I agree with you on that.
And it's just like, no. And like, OP, dude, you're not the asshole. You offered to pay because that's the way that you wanted to do things. And
the fact that she didn't even,
yeah,
like, she didn't, the friend seemed nice, but she didn't feel any sort of connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've gone on a few dates that are like that, where I went ahead and I went on a date with some people, or the few times I would go on a date with this girl, and there wouldn't be that sense of connection, and you could tell by her body language and all that she felt the same. So when it came down to the bill, it was like, so are we? And I would always feel bad for asking, but most times, if I ever asked that question, there was no like judgment. There was nothing. There was like, yeah, let's just split it. Yeah. And that's that.
And go your separate ways, because you don't want to feel, like I said, I don't want to feel like I owe somebody. And I've been on those dates where like there was no connection, and like I didn't feel a connection, and I could tell by his or her, because it's been on both sides of it. Being bisexual, I have both ends of it, and like there was no connection with this guy, and he was like, no, I'll pay. And I was like, no, I don't want to feel like I owe you. And he goes, oh, so you're not gonna have sex with me? No, I'm not.
Yep.
And like a girl, I didn't feel a connection with her, and she's like, you want to just split it? Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's been a few times that I've gone on dates with like friends to see like, is there a potential?
Yeah.
For any sort of
toe in the water,
kind of thing. And turned out, no, we're better off being friends.
Yep. And
so we looked at each other as like, how do we want to do this? Well, you take care of yours, I'll take care of mine.
Yeah.
There was one person, really good friend of mine. We looked at each other's, and it got put in there like, how do we want to do this? And I looked at her, I'm like, tell you what, I'll pay for yours, you pay for mine, and we're good. And she goes, you are so dumb. Fine. Because we got something that was relatively the same price. Yeah. So it plus or minus like $1.50 or something.
But but it's funny because it's a thing between friends, and you're better off friends, and you're just like, nah, let's do this. You pay for mine, I pay for yours. We'll call it even. And it's just like,
yep. It's like, I'll do you a favor and I'll take care of yours. You do me a favor and you take care of mine. You're an idiot, but sure, I love this. So some comments. Not the asshole. She said she's the one that say guys pay. His reaction is based on her statement alone. And our men? No, this is the first time you met your date. OP responded, I'm thinking because both guys are tight, she thought me and the friend would hit it off, making it a thing. Therefore, they would be our men. Somebody was like, God, she's so awkward. She ruined it all by herself.
That comment, yes, 100%.
Another one. It's still hella presumptuous of her to think you'd want to date the guy, and twice as presumptuous to think by paying on... and twice as presumptuous to just put paying on the guys because they're men. The way you described the interaction rubbed me the wrong way, and I wasn't even there. Can't blame the guy for reconsidering whether he wants to be with her.
Yeah, definitely not the asshole OP.
No. Somebody, last
that
one.
That is an independent woman.
Last one. OP, you helped that guy dodge a bullet, so definitely not the asshole. Hell, a damn hero. All right. Your turn.
Okay. Am I the asshole for being annoyed at my fiance for not making my sister a bridesmaid?
Okay.
I, 30 male, have known my fiance, 29 female. We'll call her Amy, for 7 years, and we got engaged 3 months ago. I also have a little sister, 9 female. We'll call her Lily. Amy and Lily are very close, as Lily has only brothers and Amy is an only child. Amy promised Lily before we even got engaged that she could be a bridesmaid for our wedding. Lily has waist-length red hair, which she is very proud of, and Amy loves it and frequently comments on how gorgeous it is and loves playing with it. The problem came up last week when I was at my parents' house without Amy one day, and Lily was talking to me and asking when Amy was officially going to ask her to be a bridesmaid, as she was really excited to go dress shopping. I said that's none of my business as the groom, and she'd just have to wait and see, but I was really happy seeing how excited she was. I asked Amy later on when she was planning on asking Lily to be her bridesmaid, but she hesitated, and then she said she's not going to ask her and she's not going to be a bridesmaid. I was taken aback, as she'd always expressed that she wanted Lily to be a part of our wedding party. For some background, we're planning on a spring wedding, and Amy was very keen on the trend where all the bridesmaids wear a different pastel color, which are all different but tie together nicely. I know the bridal party is completely Amy's decision and not mine, but I asked her why all of a sudden she said Lily was not going to be a bridesmaid. She said that if Lily was a part of the bridal party, she would be wearing a pale pink dress, which would clash horribly with her vivid red hair, and she didn't want that in all the photos. I personally really don't think it would be that much of a problem, and I know Lily especially would love that dress, as it's her favorite color. I asked, is it not possible for Lily to wear one of the other colors and for one of the other bridesmaids to wear the light pink? She said she'd already decided what each of the girls were wearing based on what best suited them, and that it just wasn't possible for Lily to be a bridesmaid. I left it at that for the night, as I didn't want to get into a fight over it then. I've so far stayed out of the way of all the bridal party stuff, as it's completely her choice. But I was shocked by this, as Amy has already told Lily that she can be a bridesmaid. I brought it up again the next morning calmly and asked her if there's no way she could still do it, as she was so excited. Amy turned around and almost shouted in my face, and said she'd make her decision and that was fine. She'd made her decision, that was final, and Lily wasn't going to be a bridesmaid. I told Lily that it turns out that due to a couple of different reasons she wasn't going to be able to be a bridesmaid, but didn't tell her the reason why, as I didn't want her to feel like it was her fault. She didn't make a big deal out of it and just said okay, but from what I've seen of her and from what my parents have told me, she's really upset.
Cool. So you're saying that a promise that you've made to this little girl, you're not gonna do it, and she's not gonna be a bridesmaid. Cool. I'm not gonna be the groom.
Yeah, because that's fucked.
Because if you can't keep a promise like that, one, you shouldn't be making promises like that in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
Two,
you should have told her she was going to be a flower girl. She would have been just as happy.
If you can't go ahead and keep a promise to a 9-year-old about something as small, and I'm saying as small, it's different for females, and I know this, but in my personal thing, something as small as being a part of the bridesmaids, how can I trust that you're going to be loyal and keep your promise to having to hold sickness and in health to me?
Okay, some of these comments, yo.
And I have 15 shades of color, right?
Yeah.
We know this, right?
Yep.
How much of a difference is it for whatever that pink, light red, and vibrant red? Like, how much of a, like, would it, if you can see the colors because you color a lot, is it that much of a difference? And would it clash?
No, it wouldn't clash. And here's the thing. There's some comments. This one says, you're not the asshole for being annoyed. Your fiance already told your little sister she'd be a bridesmaid. For her to back out now on a 9-year-old child for such a shallow reason, that's just crap on her part. I hope this kind of behavior is really out of character for your fiance and she's just super stressed out and not thinking clearly. Surely you don't want to marry someone who would normally hurt your little sister over something like this. Oh, and by the way, pink and red go together very well. It's actually on trend, so your fiance is just plain unfashionable on top of being unnecessarily cruel to your sister. And then somebody goes, easy fix. Make her a groomsmaid and let her stand on your side of the wedding party. That's where my sister stood.
Hell yeah. Let's
Also,
fucking do
I'd
it.
seriously question someone who breaks a promise to a 9-year-old girl and defends that shitty behavior by shouting at you about it, not the asshole. And then this one was pink and red with red hair is an amazing combo. Makes me think she hates sister for an even worse reason, like plain jealousy or something. And that's the general consensus. People are saying not the asshole, and I'm just like...
That's like me saying to my brothers, who I promised that they are going to be my groomsmen,
Yeah.
that they're not going to be my groomsmen. Or even better, like telling one of my best friends, you know exactly who I'm talking about when I say this,
Yep.
that he wasn't going to be my best man.
Yep.
It's like, but why?
Yeah.
Like, I promised these 3 individuals that they were going to be a part of my wedding.
Yep.
And that's like going ahead. What the fiance did was like me going to my brothers and my best friend and being like, "Sorry guys, you're not in. You didn't make the cut." No, I've promised these 3. Now, if there's anybody else, depending on how big the wedding train is, then I have yet to meet those people.
I don't like that many people, so we're good. I have to, completely rethink my wedding party because of the fact that half the people I used to talk to when I thought about a bigger wedding, I really don't talk to anymore.
No. Well, I know of at least 3. Shell, Sis, and possibly either Tate or Dally.
Well...
However,
yeah.
I will say this. Tate's going to be on my side. Fuck you. Tate's on my side.
You can have Tate for your side, but here's the thing. And this is something I thought about when we were talking and about having a bigger wedding or whatever and who people would be. And I knew who 3 of your people would be already. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh God, if I have her as my maid of honor and then he has him as his best man. Oh God. Oh God.
Uh-huh.
Tyler and Shell.
Uh-huh.
Oh God.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun.
But we gotta convince Tyler he can't drink because Michelle isn't drinking anymore.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
It's gonna be a dry wedding and people are gonna hate us.
It'll be dry for one person.
Well, it'll be dry for a couple of people. And I would rather keep it a dry reception only because we want to support the sobriety of our friends.
I will agree with that. However, just putting the thought out there.
Mm-hmm.
Drink limit.
Yeah, we're not having an open bar.
You get
ever.
2
drink tickets. Choose wisely.
Yeah.
And that's not counting the soda or tea
or
water you have with dinner.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I fully agree with that. If we have alcohol, it's going to be a drink limit because I know our friends and I know our family and you.
All right.
Anyway, your turn.
My turn. Am I the asshole for getting up and saying, I don't like your attitude when my mom said another girl could have my clothes without my permission?
I'm so glad I chose not to do this one because I read part of it and I'm like, he's probably going to pick this one.
Hi, Reddit. This is my first post here, and mind you, this just happened. I'm currently crying while writing this. For context, I, 20 female, always had clothes that were given to me by others, which really saved my mom, 40 female, when I was younger. And even when older, I never minded having other people's clothes, nor giving mine away, but this time was different. My mom has a goddaughter, 17 female, that I always gave my clothes away to, and I'm friends with her because we have a lot in common, and she had my body type, so my clothes always fit her. Earlier today, my mom saw my old denim vests and asked if I would give them away to her goddaughter. I said she doesn't have the drip to wear these, and I thought she understood because she didn't ask again. The day passed almost too smoothly. At dinner time, the family of her goddaughter came to dine with us, and everything was fine until my mom called her to go into the room and asked her if she liked my clothes, and proceeded to put my favorite denim vest on the girl and said she could keep it. I snapped. I got up, looked straight at my mom, and said, "I don't like your attitude." She said, "What?" And I repeated, and I said I didn't give her permission to do so. The girl took off my clothes and gave it to me with an awkward smile.
Hold up. You said this girl is 20?
OP is 20.
Okay. Continue.
I entered the room where my mom was and said, and she said I humiliated her in front of everyone. I told her it wasn't right to just give my things away, and she proceeded to tell me she expected me to use those denim vests every day from now on as punishment. She then got out of the room and everyone acted as if nothing happened. They left our home, and my mom didn't talk to me until my dad brought everything up and gave a speech about respect and how he was sad about how I handled the situation. He was already late for work, and he said he expected us both to apologize to each other. I told my mother how much these clothes meant to me, how they were my style, my mark back in the day. She doesn't get it. She argued that I don't use them anymore and how they don't fit me. As a common topic nowadays about my weight, I don't have to tell the whole thing. You get it. I started crying, and she left my room saying, "I'm done. This is not the first time you embarrassed me in front of others." Another whole different story that I already apologized for. And I left it alone, and I will from now on. I don't care anymore. I treated you right. I cared about you, and that's what I receive. My brother tried to stay with me and understands me, but my dad didn't let him, so I had no option but to talk about it with my boyfriend. And she's there in the kitchen talking with my brother like I don't exist. My boyfriend says I should get another job and be gone from home more often, or just move in with him. He knows a lot about what I've been going through. He's my light, actually. I can't face her. I can't afford the courage to apologize now. I don't know what to think or do anymore.
Okay, hold up. First of all, OP, not the asshole. 100% not the asshole. You are 20 damn years old. Your mom does not belong giving your shit away. Sorry. For one. For two, run. Your mom is crazy. Like, 100% class 1 grade A psycho. She's giving your stuff away. You're 20 years old. Yeah, you live under her roof right now. I get that. She wants to have some decorum of control. Whatever. Take your boyfriend's offer and move. Don't look back. Associate yourself with your brother and your brother alone. Because A, your mom is psycho, and B, your dad has no backbone. Because if he would have had a backbone, he would have told the mom that this is not something to be argued over. She's 20 years old. She can give her stuff away if she wants. She can keep her stuff if she wants. Because it is not the mother's choice on what she can give of her daughters away. Sorry. Not the asshole, P.
I will agree that she's not the asshole. I will agree that she does probably be a good idea for her to move, because the mom is trying to put forward this sense of I'm in control because this is my house. That I don't agree with the fact that you said that dad doesn't have a spine. Dad does have a spine. He's just trying to play peacemaker right now.
No, see, the thing that makes me think he doesn't have a spine is because when the brother was trying to comfort his sister because he saw the way his mother was acting, the dad basically kept him away.
No,
kept her support.
No. Here's why I say he's trying to be peacemaker. Because he's trying to get the mom and the daughter to talk. And having the brother there would immediately put the mom on the back foot and get her defensive and not want her to listen
Okay,
at all.
I see that part. But
Now,
on the other hand,
he's trying to sit there and be like, look, y'all need to knock this shit off and have a conversation.
Okay.
And the reason why I say he does have a backbone is
he
because
told them both to apologize.
he told them both
Mm-hmm.
to apologize. He didn't look at the daughter and say, you need to apologize to your
Yeah.
mother. He said to his wife, you need to apologize as well.
And that's the thing, like I get that part, and that makes more sense with the whole me. I will backtrack on the whole dad doesn't have a backbone thing, but mom sounds like she's been on more than one occasion been condescending to the daughter because of her weight, and that leaves a sour taste in the daughter's mouth. And I can understand why the daughter doesn't want to put herself out there and try to fix things right now. She's hurt. And it's like, this is not the first time that the mother has done something to hurt her daughter in that way.
Emotionally abuse her.
And it sounds to me like, yeah, she's embarrassed her mom. What kid hasn't embarrassed their parents at one point or another?
I used to do it on a weekly basis to
on
see
purpose.
how far I could get.
And that's the thing. It's like, what kid hasn't embarrassed their parents at one point or another?
And the answer to that question is not very far. My mom has an alpha mentality, or a alpha personality, or type A personality, whatever it's fucking called.
I love your mom.
She has to be in control.
I love your mom. But no, it's like the way the mother has shown that she's going to treat her daughter, like between the weight comments and stuff like that. Oh yeah, she embarrassed her and she apologized for that situation and that type of stuff. So the mom is still like butthurt over that. So she's taking more out on her daughter, is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Oh, P, you're not the asshole. Move in with your boyfriend. He sounds like a cool guy.
So, well, we don't know, but so I actually had something similar happen at a family function years ago, and you were there for that.
Yeah.
My sister decided that she was going to get on my ass about something, and I looked at her and I said, no. My mom went ahead and snapped at both of us and said, you need to apologize to each other, and yada yada. My sister would not go for it, and you said something to my sister. And my dad looked at me and said, you need to get control of your woman and put her in her place. And I looked at him with a straight face. Well, no.
Try
with
it.
a smile. Show me how it's done then.
Yeah, because
And
if anybody knows me, they know I will not back down. I don't give a shit if somebody is 10 foot tall and bulletproof. They come up against me, I'm going to put them in their place if I feel like I need to.
Here's the thing. That's the first time my parents ever did something like that. You know, they were reacting, not being they were being reactive.
Yeah.
Because it was for my youngest brother's graduation. We all traveled out. I'm here where I'm at. My sister was living down in Texas, and
with a douchebag.
She before anything even fucking started, she was like, "You need to watch yourself when you're around my fiance, my boyfriend.
He's a douchebag
Because he's sensitive." And I'm just like, I ain't changing who the fuck I am for nobody.
Sorry, he needed to grow a pair and fucking.
Well, he's an only child, so
yeah.
I know. I
he's
have friends
an only
who are only children. They deal with me just fine.
No, it's not even that it boils down to. It's the fact that he had no fucking spine.
But
and he was a douchebag.
You know, so my like I said, this was the first time my parents ever did anything like this.
And I'm sorry, I may not get along with your sister 100%, but the shit he pulled, no, he's a douchebag.
You know, it was weird. So did I react appropriately? No, I did not. I should have held my temper in check better than what I did. However, I, at that point in time, was like 33, 34 years old. No, I was like 32. Yeah. Right?
No, because that was...
Well, I graduated
6 years ago?
2006.
It was 6 years
My
ago.
youngest brother is 10 years younger than I am.
He graduated in 2016.
Yeah, so that would be 8 years ago.
8 years ago. Holy crap.
So I would be like 27.
I was 32. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
I looked at my parents. I'm like, I'm 27 years old. I do not live here. I don't owe you anything. So I'm leaving. And we packed up the kids and we left. And we did not see my parents again for the rest of that trip.
And this was all over Hershey. Like, the fuck?
Yeah. You know.
And I was like, and when at first I was like looking at finances and seeing, okay, you know, I want this to be a family trip, and I understand that your sister and her fiance, boyfriend, douchebag, couldn't afford it. So I was looking at things to see if maybe we could swing it, and
we couldn't.
And I had some extra stashed away that we could have afforded it.
No, we couldn't.
But
because I had planned out everything that we were going to do.
Yes, but I had extra money stashed away that I was going to buy little things with, or help out buying groceries for your mom, and she wouldn't let me. Anyway, but no, like I had extra money that I could have afforded to help pay for Carolyn and douchebag. I don't even remember his name. And I could have helped, but the way it was like she felt like she was entitled for us to pay, that's what changed my mind. I would have gladly paid for your sister any day.
I wouldn't.
But I wouldn't have paid for him.
The reason why I wouldn't is a few reasons. One, I know how my sister is. Point blank. I know how
Give
my
an
sister
inch,
is.
take a mile.
Yep. Two, Chica already owes me like $3,000.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna give you more, and I know for a fact I'm not gonna ever see it.
But the thing is, it was me. Like, I wanted to put a good first impression with your family, whereas now
You already had a good impression with my family.
Whereas now your sister and I are getting along a lot better than we did when we first met.
I still am not getting along with my sister. But that's just how me and her are.
Now that she's with this guy that seems like a great guy, and she's finally seeing some of the stuff that we pointed out about douchebag, whatever his name is. Anyway.
I think his name was Derek.
Derek, douchebag. Same
Whatever.
difference. Anyway, so, like, her and I have come to an understanding where we may not be best friends, but I will still, help her if she calls. I will talk to her if she calls to talk to me or whatever. And she's family. Like, we've been together long enough, and let's face it, your parents love me.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing.
I know.
I don't get along with my sister, but that's just been a constant thing since we were teenagers, right? Her and I fight like cats and dogs, and that's just how our relationship is. However, we can go from 1 minute all but tearing each other's throats out to
What's going on? What do you need?
exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way it is.
There's only one person who can fuck with my sister, and that's me.
And your brothers.
Well, I'm saying like
Yeah.
her and I relationship.
Yeah.
And there's only one person who can fuck with my brother, and that's me. That's just how we are.
Except for Mikey and his pedo stash when he was out here. Sorry, Mike.
He was trying something.
Pedo stash and a bowl cut. What the fuck, Mike?
He was trying something, and it did
Still
not
love you,
work.
though, bro. Still love you, though.
Okay, leave him alone.
Welcome to the Parenthood Club, by the way.
Leave my brother alone. That is my brother to fuck with. Anyways.
Now Chris is the only one without a biological child, I think.
Comments. Something to add. Someday, if you're still at the house, if someone comes to visit, grab your mother's favorite item of clothing and insist the guest take it home with them, because of course mom shouldn't have any problem with this. However,
No, grab your mom's favorite china.
hang on. Or her wedding dress, since she never wears it anymore, right? Her favorite shoes or jewelry, make it hurt. How about her purse with credit cards still in it? Well, it's bad luck to gift a purse without any money inside.
That's funny.
Wedding ring? Not everyone wears theirs all the time. And then somebody went ahead and commented on the wedding dress thing. She's too fat for it now anyways. Damn.
That's what was going through my head. I didn't mean to say it. Somebody else
somebody
did.
went ahead and said, and then make her apologize when she gets upset and feels disrespected. She better wear it every day from now on.
Could you imagine that mom trying to fit into that wedding dress and
Oh,
cleaning the
God.
house while wearing it because she has to wear it every day?
So just a general consensus is she's not the asshole.
Yeah.
And I personally agree. OP, you're not the asshole. Your mom's the asshole. She's psycho, but you're not.
Move in with your boyfriend.
I think we have time for one more. You said you had 3.
Okay. The third one. Dun, dun, dun. Am I the asshole for refusing to make pizzas for everyone at my sister's graduation party?
I'm going to stop that right here and say no.
I chose this for a reason because our son is graduating next month. Oh, God.
I'm just saying this right now. I know how much time and effort is involved. No, you're not the asshole. I don't care.
I, 20 male, went to a culinary school and have been working in a professional kitchen since I was 18. Even though I am an adult, since I'm the youngest child in my family and one of the youngest relatives in general, a lot of the time it's difficult for me to get my relatives to take me seriously or keep me in the loop about things. I attended my sister's graduation earlier today, and right after I carpool home with my mom, it isn't until while we were in the car driving to my mom's house for the graduation party that I was told that I was supposed to make pizza for everyone at the party. I've made pizza for my family before, not because anybody asked me to, purely because I wanted to. The thing that is frustrating me more than anything is multiple people knew about this ahead of time, but they decided to tell the person that's actually responsible for making them last minute. On top of the fact that my family is massive, there's most likely going to end up being 14 or 15 people at this party. If you aren't that into cooking, you might not understand how much of a grueling process making pizza from scratch is, between making the dough, sauce, and actually cooking them. It's a process that I need to be let know multiple days ahead of time so I get everything ready. That's true with the dough alone. We'll go back to that. I told them that I was sick of being kept out of the loop and not treated like an adult by everyone in my family, and yet everyone still relies on me constantly to cook for everyone every time there's a family event. I told them that I will not be making pizza today, and if anyone wants anything from me, I won't do it unless I'm completely kept in the loop of what's going on and told about things multiple days ahead of time. I feel bad for my sister because she was very excited to try my homemade pizza, but I had to explain to her why it isn't going to happen and told her that I can make one for her later in the week as an extra graduation present. My parents think I'm just being petty and just not making them because I'm just being lazy. I really don't think I'm the asshole here. No, not the asshole.
I'm going to say this right now. My grandfather used to make homemade rolls. My Poppy's rolls. Delicious.
Speaking of which, he's nagging me.
I miss the man.
Yep.
But making dough for even just rolls, he had to
Here's
make
a
it
pain in the butt.
like he would bake them in the evening, but he would start working on the dough itself first thing in the morning.
When he gets up.
And he would. There were a few times that he made some calzones from scratch, using the same dough that he used for his rolls.
We got to talk because I need to talk to your grandfather about that.
But that is an all day thing, because
It's an all-day process, and that's not even shopping for the ingredients.
And the thing with it is because he went to culinary school, everyone's expecting him to cook.
But they're not treating him like an adult that has gone to
No.
culinary school.
So like
Order Domino's,
or
not the
Little
asshole.
Caesars, like $5 hot and ready, problem solved. Because there's like they said about like 15 people. If you consider that every person will keep it at a bare minimum has 2 slices of pizza, right? That is
Yeah.
30 slices of pizza.
That
is
6 pizzas at least.
Well, no, you cut them into 8, right? Typically.
Yep.
And that, let's see, quick math, 4 pizzas is 28 slices.
8 times 4 is 32, baby.
Okay, so that's he would have to make 4 pizzas.
The reason I say 6 is because not everybody's going to want the same toppings.
I know. But if you make a bare minimum 4 pizzas, you have to do the dough and you have to separate it out. That's 4 different doughs.
Yeah.
That you have to punch, you have to mix up, punch down, let rise, punch down again, let rise again.
Yep.
And then spread it. Do they have an oven that's big enough to cook 4 pizzas? Probably
no.
not. So people are going to be pissy and waiting anyways. Go order fucking pizzas. Like I said, go down to fucking Little Caesars.
What do they expect him to do? Use the industrial kitchen at his work? It's probably open for business, but there's other customers at the restaurant being served.
On top of that, you ask any chef, like anybody who's went to culinary school, asking somebody who went to culinary school to make a pizza is like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
I've been trained to make food, like culinary.
It's like asking my mother to make pizza from scratch.
That's like looking at a bartender in a very prestigious, place where all they do is do mixed drinks and it's all frou-frou and stuff, and asking them, "Hey, can you pour me a beer?"
Yeah.
That's like going to an artist, like a painter,
a muralist,
and asking them to paint. Hey, I want you to paint me a picture using watercolors.
Oh, most artists would love that, but no, it's like asking a muralist to paint your car.
That's like sitting there and asking a sculptist, "Hey, I want you to sculpt me a very specific statue." Okay, what is it? A dick.
Yeah, it's offensive.
Yeah, and the fact that this kid is 20 years old, went to culinary school, and they're like, "Well, we're not going to keep you in it. We're not going to loop you in or anything, but you have to make pizzas for everybody."
See, and here's the thing. And
it's last minute too.
Yep.
Do you want to eat tomorrow then?
They probably don't even have the ingredients. What's he going to do? Have to buy it himself? Here's the thing.
It's real quick. Last fucking minute.
Mm-hmm.
They told him this at the last
minute. Mm-hmm.
No. Like I said, sure, I can start the process of making the pizzas.
You want to eat tomorrow or the next day?
If you guys want to have pizza in the morning for breakfast.
And here's the thing. This is the biggest thing. He's 20 years old and graduated culinary school. Okay, works in a professional in a kitchen since he was 18. I can guarantee you that this kid graduated high school early and he started college early, because culinary school is a 4-year program at least. And that's the thing, is like, it all depends on what school, because even the Culinary Institute of Colorado or Escoffier or whatever other ones that they have out there, and guarantee you their programs are at least 3 years plus a year of kind of like on the job stuff.
Like internship.
And some of them even say, okay, you did a year internship here. Now you have to go out of the country to do an internship out of the country. And then you come back and take these finals and get your certifications. And then you will be a professional chef.
Yeah.
So you're talking anywhere from 4 to 6 years for a good culinary program. And for this kid to be working in a professional kitchen since he was 18, guarantee you his ass graduated high school early. And I only know that because of my mother.
But just the simple fact of like,
you're going to assume
you're going to be making pizzas, right? No. Well, what do you mean no? I said no. I'm the professional here. You want fucking pizzas made? Cool. Call up Domino's. Have them deliver some pizza. Call up Papa John's or Pizza Hut. Go down to
Guarantee you that
depending
those
where you're
places prep their dough the night before and put it in the proofer.
They do.
Oh, wait. I know that because I used to work at Little Caesars.
I used to work at a restaurant, and we did pizzas, Galifties. They would make pizzas.
Oh, that margarita pizza that I had?
Oh. Boyer would
Yep.
go ahead and start, and like he would once he got the kitchen closed off, he would like shut down for the night. No more food going out, except for like friends or people who worked there.
Yeah, the end of the night.
He would sit there and start prepping the dough and set it off to the side.
He'd start prepping everything for the next morning.
So it takes a while for those uninitiated and those who don't know.
8 to 12 hours for dough to be like mixed, proofed the first time, pounded,
punched,
proofed.
Down. Yeah.
You know, and proofers are set temperature so that the dough doesn't go bad or get slimy.
Yeah.
So unless you have a professional proofer in your house, and it's still going to take some time. So some of the one of the comments that says, not the asshole, I would tell them that if they help you make one from scratch and they still feel you are wrong, then you will apologize. I would tell everyone that just because you went to culinary school doesn't mean you're their personal chef. If you want to cook, then you will volunteer, or if asked in person at least a week in advance, you will tell them yes or no. They will not always get a yes. And then somebody commented on that. This reminds me of a story where the husband dropped the wife's homemade pasta dinner and didn't think it was a big deal. Am I the asshole? Suggested she have him remake the meal, and he found out how long and how big of a deal it really was.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing is like it's.
I've made homemade
ugh.
pasta. That is a bitch.
I want a pasta maker because I hate boxed pasta.
Oh no. So I helped my mom, and we did homemade linguine noodles. And so we made the dough, punched it down, rolled it out, and painstakingly cut the dough. And then she boiled it, and that was for dinner. Then she went ahead and she got a pasta maker. And so we would feed the dough through and have somebody crank and do it that way. That still was a pain in the ass.
And see, and here's the other thing. This is something that it says OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be an asshole. Number 1, the action of refusing to make pizzas for her sister's graduation party. Number 2, my sister, along with other family members, were very excited to try my homemade pizza for the first time, and I had to tell him it wasn't going to happen. I think I also could have been more nice about the way I put things. And that's the thing, is like, could he have put things a little bit nicer? Probably. But he was in shock that they had the audacity that they would be like, oh, you're making pizzas, right? Everyone's expecting you to make pizzas.
Here's my thing. We don't know how the conversation went. So could he have put things nicer? Certainly. We'll say that much.
I mean, he admitted it right there. He could have put things nicer.
Did he want to do something special for his sister for her graduation? Yeah. Who doesn't want to, I especially people who are very family oriented like me and my family are, we want to do something nice for our siblings when they have a big achievement. You should never feel bad for telling somebody no. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Because he had to tell people no, that's why he's second guessing and he's doubting himself. They have trained this poor kid for years that you always say yes, and if
when
you
it comes
say
to
no,
family.
If you say no, there will be negative repercussions or you'll have something said to you about it. So you are training the child, training the kid to feel bad and be a yes man. And that was the biggest thing for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Especially from our generation.
Yeah.
Where you never say no, you always say yes.
And I mean, it's so ingrained into me that I feel bad. I feel bad for doing it at work. Like tonight, I feel like shit, and I'm going to call out because I've been vomiting most of the night. But I feel bad for taking the time off to make myself feel better because I know we're short-staffed.
Now, in contrast.
Yeah.
How do I feel about calling out?
If you need to do it, you need to do it.
I don't care because I need to focus on me. How can I do my job
if I feel like
if
crap?
I can't do my job?
Exactly.
You know, that is the biggest thing. That's the biggest difference, though, because I have that mentality of I need to take care of things, so that way I can put 100% focus on this. That's why, like, I've been asked several times, like, "Hey, can you come in? Let me see." I'm not going to say yes. Let me see what I can swing around, because I may have to replan my day or reschedule things because I have them set for the days I have off.
And that's
I may have to switch things up. So let me see if I can. And if I can, then I'll come in. If I can't, no.
Yeah.
And that's why I put it the way that I do every single time. Hey, would you be willing to come in for, this date for this person? Let me see what I can do. If I can, I'll give you a call. If I can't, then I won't call you. And they're like, okay.
And that's the thing. It's like I said, I've been ingrained to be a yes man for so long that I feel bad for taking care of myself and calling out.
Yeah.
And it's
and that's what they're training this kid. That's what they train this kid to do.
And they have no idea what kind of a process this is. And this kid is like, no, you can't drop this on me last minute. I mean, I'm pretty sure if it would have been the day before, he would have been like, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can get together. It might not be pizza, but I'll make something homemade.
Well, here's the thing. I think if they would have asked him
instead of expecting or demanding
at least the day before, then he would have been more
receptive.
Yeah, and he would have been like, all right, let me see, and he would have done everything that he could to get to that point. But I don't think that if they just dropped it, hey, we're expecting pizza tomorrow, that he would have been receptive to it. It put him on the defensive. And
there's a couple more comments that says, yeah, pizza for 15 people is not something you just tell someone to whip up at the last minute on your way to the graduation party. Your parents don't appreciate how much time and work goes into your work. When they asked, isn't just a lot of work. It's pretty much not an option. You'd have to go buy enough ingredients, mix and knead like 4 pizzas, a couple of rises, tick-tock, and then cook them all in whatever oven setup you have at home. Were they all planning to eat at midnight or what? And that's the point,
That's what I said.
And it says the dough has to be given time to rise and the sauce needs hours to simmer. You can't just make it in 10 minutes. And then, there's one that says, this reminds me of that one post about homemade ravioli from a while back where OP made her husband remake it, and after hours he was groveling. And that's that pasta making, and they actually posted it here in the comments. So if we had time for one more, that's the one I would do. And it says and another one says, not the asshole. It's not just you being kept out of the loop and given no time to prepare. You were told you were doing this and not asked. That is not acceptable. You're an adult. You need to insist that they treat you like one.
Yeah.
And it says the dough alone takes hours minimum to proof. Not the asshole. They should have asked you ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then this one cracks me up. Oh, hell no. Not the asshole. It takes hours to make pizza from scratch. And even if you buy pre-made dough from Trader Joe's, that means cooking about 10 pizzas, which all have to be served hot. That still takes a while since you probably can't do more than one at a time. Also, your house probably doesn't have ingredients for 10 plus pizzas just sitting around. So are you supposed to go shopping too? That's insane. It makes way more sense to order carry-out pizza. If they want you to cook anything in advance, they need to plan it with you ahead of time.
Yep.
And then this last one, okay? Actually, there's 2 more. This one, it says, not the asshole. Not only was it rude, it wasn't feasible. I've helped make from scratch pizza for a crowd. It's a commitment. The dough takes hours. It's yeast dough. There's only so much you can do to speed it up. A good sauce takes a godly chunk of time. The toppings are labor intensive to set up, and the domestic oven can only bake 1 or 2 at most at a time.
Not for a good one.
Yeah, no. And it says info. This one says info. Would your parents have at least paid for the ingredients, or are they taking advantage of you financially as well as your kindness? I told him that I will not be making pizza today. Good for you for putting your foot down, not the asshole. Parents are lazy for not making the pizza for over a dozen people last minute. Ridiculous. It's like...
Yep. All in all,
not
OP,
the asshole.
You're not the asshole.
No.
Tell your parents next time, if there is a next time, order Little Caesars.
Yeah.
We can get 4 pizzas for like $20. And that'll be okay. And then I will make my sister or whoever something special.
Should we do one more?
No.
No?
No.
I want to do one more.
We're sitting at an hour and 10.
I know, but we missed a show last week, and then with all the stuff this week,
well,
I want to do
we
one
can
more.
go ahead and record something and do a bonus show if you feel.
I want to do one more. Please.
You also need to get some rest.
I know. I don't feel good, but I want to do one more, and it's the pasta one that they posted about.
One more.
Okay. Yay! I win. Anyway, I'm like a child.
Have a spine. No, I just know the word compromise.
It says, this is the story from the comment that
Yes.
I was talking
This
about.
was touched on in the pizza story.
It says, am I the asshole for losing my temper at sister-in-law after she ruined the meal I made? My sister-in-law, Ashley, is for lack of a nicer word, obnoxious. She constantly does whatever she wants, even when you ask her not to. She thinks she's right above everyone else, or even when she's dead wrong. And she's just got this very stereotypical baby sister attitude where she acts like she can do whatever she wants and nobody is allowed to be mad at her because she's the baby. Yes, that's something she regularly says.
Fucking hate those people.
My husband says she's the youngest of the family, so her acting that way is normal. But I pointed out that I'm the youngest of my family and I've never acted that way. I don't like sister-in-law, but I've been polite and kept a peaceful relationship for my husband's sake. Until today. And that right there just kind of...
Until today.
Today was the first time since 2019 that my husband or I have been able to see our small friend group in person. We all got our shots 2 months ago and decided to meet up finally for dinner. I cooked...
Oh, this happened during COVID.
Mm-hmm. Right after COVID restrictions lifted. I cooked while our friends either pitched in ingredients, made appetizers, or brought wine. I made pasta ravioli by hand, which was hard. I made enough for me, my husband, and our friends. But after they arrived and we all caught up while I was finishing the food, sister-in-law showed up. She let herself in and greeted everyone happily. Oh, hell no, you ain't letting yourself in my house. Sorry, Carolyn. Not gonna happen. They know her and said hi, but I subtly asked husband what she was doing here. Turns out he'd mentioned the gathering to her, and he guessed she assumed she was invited. I told him to tell her to leave because she can't just invite herself like this. He said that it would be humiliating for her and asked if she could stay. I was annoyed, but agreed. Things were fine at the start. I had a few sips of wine to relax and was about to plate everyone's food at the kitchen island and bring it to them, but forgot Parmesan, so I went to get it. I heard sister-in-law say she'd help bring the food to the table. I said no thanks and to stay seated. My back was to her, and she said something I missed because of the loud clang of a pot hitting the floor. I heard everyone gasp, and I closed my eyes. I knew what happened, but I didn't want to look. When I did, I just started crying. Hours of work splattered on the floor. Sister-in-law said it was okay. It was just some pasta. I'll buy more. I lost it. I called her a stupid B-word that ruined the entire dinner.
Oh, you can say it.
I called her a stupid bitch that ruined the entire dinner because she refuses to listen. She started boo-hooing, and I told her to shut up and leave. She ran out crying, and I sat down to cry too. Our friends consoled me, and husband tried to say I went too far, but our friends told him he was an asshole and sister-in-law was in the wrong. They helped me clean and we ordered pizza, but after they left, husband and I were flooded with calls from his family saying I was a horrible, spoiled brat who made their baby cry over some stupid food. Now I'm just crying and feeling like garbage. Did I go too far? I don't usually get so angry or curse. Am I the asshole?
No.
Edit. Husband said he understands that I'm upset the food was wasted, but he didn't think my outburst was warranted and actually kind of extreme. There is a few edits, so just hold on. Tomorrow is his day off, and I told him he's going to be making the dish I did by hand and on his own, and then in the end, we'll see if he thinks my outburst was unwarranted. Edit 2. Well, Hubs made pasta for the first time today, and it went much like I had anticipated. He was full of confidence, and it'll be easy during the first 30 minutes. But towards the end of the first hour, that disappeared as the burn in his arms really set in from making dough for almost 60 ravioli. I did not lift a finger to help him knead, since I didn't get any help when I did it. After the dough was done and wrapped up in the fridge, he made the filling, which took another 40 or so minutes. Then the dough was brought out, and he had to start crafting the ravioli all by hand after rolling the dough out. Lord, that went on for ages. Just rolling some dough out, cutting out squares, filling them, and putting the top on, rinse and repeat until the dough and filling was all gone. All in all, the entire process from start to finish for him on his own took a little over 4 hours. And that's with us not actually cooking any of the ravioli. Also, he didn't make any sauce or cook any shrimp for the ravioli to be served with. Also, he didn't prepare any salad to go with it, and when I told him that there was still more to do, he almost started crying. He started saying sorry at the 1 hour mark and hasn't stopped apologizing since. We had a long talk about his sister and the dinner she ruined, the other time she's pulled similar incidents, there's a lot, and how him and his family always let her get away with it. He says he knows how they treat her isn't normal, and he doesn't like it, but he was raised to just go with the flow regarding her. He said he's going to call her and tell her we need some space from her for now. Update 3. Husband just got a message from his cousin of Ashley laughing and bragging about intentionally spilling the pasta to teach me a lesson for being such a snobby bitch. A handful of you all thought she did it on purpose, but I didn't actually think she did until hearing her admit it. I've never seen my husband this pissed off before. I don't know what's going to happen now. Final update.
Oh, Jesus. This is a saga.
Okay, so I gotta... So give your thoughts while I'm looking up this final
So
update.
I had a feeling that she did that shit on purpose. Because she wasn't invited, and it was her brother and his wife and all of that. I had a feeling that she did that on purpose. And to some of the people who are from the South who may know this already, having somebody bring drinks, that is the same as being like, we don't trust your cooking.
Holy crap, this last update.
Oh, boy.
It's long. It's just as long as the thing.
Oh, boy.
It says, so for the update, like I said, it's a lot. A lot has happened since then. I'll try to remember all of it, but be warned, I'm just going to put down everything as I remember it, and I'll try to make it in order. But it's been like 4 months or so, so I may not do it perfectly, so here it goes.
Oh, shit.
So point 1. There are bullet points, so I'll say bullet. So sister-in-law bragged to her and husband's cousin, Brenda, that she ruined the dinner on purpose. Bullet. Husband went to comfort his family. Sister-in-law denied everything until Hubs played the recording. It was recorded. Third, husband banned sister-in-law from her house until she apologized to me sincerely and reimbursed us for all the wasted food. 4.
I would also have made her pay for the fucking pizza.
Yeah. 4. Sister-in-law went ballistic, sobbing and throwing a massive tantrum until mother-in-law tried calming her down and scolding husband for choosing some floozy over your blood family. Next, because I forget where I'm at. Husband apparently flipped and called out his family on their weird babying of sister-in-law, saying they made her into a spoiled monster. This just started a huge screaming match between all of them before husband said he wasn't going to be speaking them for the foreseeable future before storming out. Next. That's when he called me and told me to block all of his family, and before I could hang up, I started getting tons of calls and texts from them just saying the most hateful stuff to me. Next, all of my socials, from my personal Insta to my work email, were bombarded with hate until I managed to block all of them, but it took weeks for them all to stop. Next, the only people in husband's family who weren't harassing us were his paternal grandparents, his maternal grandmother, a few of his cousins on both sides, and his paternal aunts and uncles. Actually, I think all the hate was from his maternal side, though not all of them. After blocking them all, things were peaceful until a few weeks later, our friend Kelly's car was vandalized really bad when she stayed at our house for the weekend. I'm talking the sides were keyed, the tires were slashed, the windows were spray painted, and they even tore off the tag and shoved it down into the driver's side door where the window slides down. We checked the doorbell cam, and it was sister-in-law and brother-in-law. Seems they mistook Kelly's car for mine. I lent my car to my mom since hers needed new tires, and I could use hubs if needed since both Kelly and my cars are black. Next, needless to say, we called the cops and Kelly pressed charges on both of them. Thankfully, the video evidence, she said she was able to make a no-fault claim against Ashley, who had insurance, and Kelly got her repairs paid for, though barely. Sister-in-law and brother-in-law getting arrested caused a huge rift in the husband's family between those who didn't think it was necessary that they be arrested, most think they should have just paid for the repairs out of pocket, and those who think that they got was coming to them. Also, the arrest cost brother-in-law his job at the university. Husband's cousin Brenda, who is keeping us in the loop, told us that anyways. We didn't look into it. Brenda also informed us that during the whole family drama thing, it was revealed that Ashley is only his half-sister, according to the maternal grandmother anyway. Seems she verbally tore mother-in-law to pieces after mother-in-law insinuated sister-in-law hadn't done anything to deserve this treatment. Brenda said that their grandmother said, "You felt bad that your husband didn't love her because he knew she was just your shameful affair baby, so you loved her more than your other kids in some twisted effort to make up for it, and you pulled your other kids into doing it too, and all you did was succeed in spoiling her rotten." Grandmother, go grandma. Shit. Brenda told us more, but that part is what really stuck in my mind. Honestly, hearing all that was unbelievable for me. I had no idea this level of drama was buried in my husband's family. Then again, neither did he. All of this snowballed from a ruined ravioli dinner. Husband and I have decided to distance ourselves from that part of his family for now. After handing Kelly a copy of the video, sister-in-law and brother-in-law tearing up her car, we are more or less washed our hands of dealing with them all. And I've been way less stressed lately. Husband too, that we both noticed. So not a terrible end. Not sure who will see this update, but I'll be logging out of this account after a while since I think everything is mostly over. Thanks for reading, and an extra thanks to everyone who sent me so many kind messages after my first post. Made me feel a lot better. Yeah, I'm glad that the husband has distanced himself.
Shit.
What would have been even worse is if husband was on the wife's side and then still was like, because my family can't stand you, I'm not going to be with you. That would have sucked. But husband sounds like the only person in that main family that has any sense to him.
Holy shit.
Like, seriously.
Fucking Christ.
That you realize that took 15 minutes to read?
Jesus Christ. That family is fucked.
Like, I thought my family was bad, and we got some skeletons and hidden drama in my shit. But damn.
Over pasta.
Oh, over ravioli. Go
Overall.
grandma, though. Go
Overall,
grandma.
I'm going to say this right now, and then we can dive a little into this. OP, not the asshole.
No,
Great job.
not at all. Husband, great job for standing up for your wife.
I mean, granted, it took you a little bit, but still.
Once he started finding out the truth and information, he's like...
Oh, no, I'm just talking, like, just in general. Like, once he found out, oh, shit, this is a lot more work than what I actually thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, he only made part of the dinner.
Yeah.
Just the noodle part. He didn't do the sauce. He didn't do the shrimps. He didn't do the salads.
Like...
anything else like that. Like, Jesus. Going back to what I said beforehand, though, if you are asked to bring drinks, you are not trusted with making food. Anyways.
Well, they probably
Holy
gave him
crap.
a choice, like almost like a potluck sign up.
Like I said, I had a feeling that that's what the sister did. Like,
Yeah.
she did that shit on purpose.
Oh yeah, I had a feeling too, but I was like reserving judgment, and then
Oh,
when
no.
I read,
I don't reserve judgment.
I was reserving judgment for the moment, and then I read the rest of that, and I'm like, oh damn.
Yeah, I was watching your face.
And she went and bragged about it. Like, dude, how
Rule number
dumb
one.
could you be? If
Rule
you're gonna
number
do
one,
something stupid,
don't fucking say anything.
like if you're gonna do something on purpose like that, don't fucking go and brag about it. Do the opposite. Basically, make it be like it was an accident. I really didn't mean to do it.
Double
Even if
down
you did.
Double down on that I feel bad
Yeah.
type of bullshit. Holy fuck.
And go out and offer to pay for the ingredients because they wasted money or whatever.
Jesus.
But damn, all over pasta.
So, maternal side, other than grandma, are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Grandma, go grandma.
We love you, Grandma.
But anyone who went ahead and was backing this, like, brother, you're a fucking idiot.
Brother-in-law?
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Is that the sister's husband or
No.
is it just
that would be
another sibling's husband?
That would be OP's husband's brother.
Okay.
Whether or not they're full blood brothers,
God knows.
yeah, who the fuck knows? But like,
Damn.
it's
Damn.
how you're gonna wreck someone's car because you got called out for fucking up dinner?
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, dude,
Like,
you
I've heard
really?
of some
Come
fucking
on.
petty ass shit. Jesus.
I mean, being petty in some instances, yeah, go for it. But the thing is if you're going to be petty and damage somebody's vehicle, make sure it's actually their vehicle, you dumbass.
And make sure it's not on video, you dipshit.
Like, seriously. Like, you're going to do that?
That is now a house divided.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. There's going to be a civil war in
Amongst
that
the
fucking
family,
household. And
for
Jesus.
decades to come. But I can
Holy
guarantee you that the first time the sister-in-law gets into trouble with, like, family, like if she ever gets married or procreates, God forbid. Sorry, there are some people that should not be parents. Like, if she ever procreates and she's struggling with something, the first person she's going to try to call is that brother or that sister-in-law.
It ain't gonna happen.
Nope. 'Cause she blocked.
Gee, okay.
Oh, we can end it there.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause my brain cells are officially gone.
Yep.
I didn't think that was going to be such a long thing. I apologize to everybody, but damn,
Thank y'all for hanging in
that
there.
was worth it.
that was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, thank y'all so much for listening. We really do appreciate it.
We really do.
If you're listening to us on Spotify and you want to show Spotify that you want to hear more of what you're hearing, you're listening to, hit
Download.
the download button. It really does help us. It shows Spotify like, hey, we like what we're hearing. We want to hear more.
You don't
And
have to.
So that gets back to Spotify, then gets back to us. It's like, hey, you guys got this support.
Awesome.
In the description, there's a link if you want to donate to the show. You don't have to. But once again, anything that comes in goes right back into the show to make this better. And
The last set of money that we got, not really for the show, but we were given to support us for the show, went to new microphones the last time. So, yeah.
so like I said, you don't have to if you want to.
It is
It's
appreciated.
greatly appreciated. Anything is appreciated. But as you know, once again, thank y'all so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. We are going to be back.
Trying to
This
get back
week,
on a regular
Yeah,
schedule.
we are gonna have our regulars. We're gonna try to shoot for our regularly scheduled programming later on.
It all depends on our whole schedule bullshit.
We may go ahead and have a bonus episode at some point to make up for the fact that we missed last week. We're still working on the logistics of that.
Yeah. Sorry, the schedule's been crazy. If you've been listening, you know the schedule's been crazy lately.
But thank y'all so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Don't forget to love each other. And as always,
Don't be a dick.
like that one lady, don't be a dick. Okay, bye.
Love ya. Bye.